Hello, so today I'm going to be going over my phylogenetic tree sample. And today for my OTUs, I decided to use vegetables. And when looking at how closely related they are, I didn't go based off their DNA sequences. I went off based on their phenotypic appearances. And so just a few things before I get into the actual tree. These lines right here represent anagenesis, which is just a line in the evolution. So they're basically like connective lines. And the lines where they break off are known as cladogenesis. And that's where we have our group splitting off and we get a lot of diversity in the evolution. This spot right here is known as nodes, and that's just basically a representation of the most common ancestor before the splitting occurred. And so the shorter these lines are, the more closely related they are. So you see we have our longest line here is spinach. So this is known as our output, and our whole tree is rooted because we have an output. And I chose this as output because spinach doesn't really look like the rest of my vegetables. The rest of my vegetables are really like bunched together, where spinach is kind of like its own thing. And so we have Brussels sprouts and cabbage here, which have the shortest lines, meaning they're more closely related, which makes sense because Brussels sprouts are just baby cabbages. As you can see, lettuce is also a fairly short line because lettuce and cabbage kind of almost look alike. If you buy it in the store, you have to be really careful. These longer lines right here with like lettuce and collards, or comparing turnip greens to kale or spinach to kale. These vegetables don't really look alike, so I made the lines a little bit longer, whereas you have like turnip greens and collards, the lines are shorter, meaning they look more alike, meaning they would have a more recent common ancestor than, say, lettuce and collards would. And that's because sometimes I call turnip greens collards and collards turnip greens. They kind of look the same to me, really. For kale, you can see I have a much longer line for kale because kale does not look like broccoli at all. So that's why, so their most common ancestor wouldn't be as recent. And as for broccoli or cauliflower, which the only difference between broccoli and cauliflower is the color, really. I mean the taste, but we're going based off of phenotypes. So they would have a more recent common ancestor than, say, broccoli and kale would. And that's it. Thank you.